Our boy Liver King's been in the news this week.
Yeah, it has not been looking good.
And he posted an apology last night, but it was
I haven't seen that.
I don't believe that you can do a YouTube apology and sound sincere. Almost ever. It seems like none of them.
He did a full-on YouTube apology.
Yeah,
dude.
And he did hit it in one take, which I was impressed. He was no cuts. He was kind of reading,
He's a
but
great talker.
Dude, it was a lot of talking. But pretty much the whole time, he did kind of end up just justifying what he did.
Hold on. Okay, for the people listening that aren't
Mm-hmm.
aware of who Liver King is, we've talked about him a couple times on the podcast. That's why this is funny for us, because we've been speculating over the last couple months. But anyway, just give like a brief little run through who he is.
So this Liver King is this guy who just blew up in the last year or so, and he's noticeably jacked, almost unrealistically jacked, but he promotes living this ancestral lifestyle and the 9 tenets of our ancestors or something like that. And he's just promoting like a lifestyle of wellness, which I think is really good, but he has denied that he's been doing steroids. And
he's just jacked. He walks around, no shirt on.
I'll throw a picture of him.
He wears, he says you got to eat liver with like every meal, hence
meat.
the Liver King.
And
He
lots
eats
of
these
other
like
raw meats.
ridiculous meals, and he posts all the time. Like he's an excellent Instagrammer, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, for just starting social
ridiculous.
media a year ago, dude, what he's done is
He's
insane.
smart, dude. He's very smart.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I wanted to get into. A few weeks ago, or probably months already, you kind of hypothesized that he was a bit, and that he maybe was who he was, but he just cranked it up to 11 and then went out and tried to become internet famous to sell his brands.
Yeah.
And basically,
He has a supplement company that he sells. Yeah.
And basically, that is exactly what he did.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Well, there's actually,
but I think a lot of people
I feel like
probably-
everyone probably thought.
there's
that.
He never
Well,
really
I think
said
it was
he
all-
didn't do steroids.
He
though.
said
always
no.
kinda just-
No, he said
a few times he got cornered into it.
And he even admitted that he said no. So for the viewer, if you didn't, so basically he admitted that he has been doing steroids, which he had been denying the whole time. And the issue with it, no one cares if you do steroids, but the issue was that he was denying it and implying that if you eat like me, eat all this like healthy, only meat and liver and all this, and then also if you can't do that, if you take my supplements, which I have for sale here, you can live this lifestyle like him.
Yep.
And basically get jacked and look like that. And that was the issue, is that he kind of deceived those people. At the same time, I feel like, dude, I mean, I guess not everyone can look at that and be like, that's unreal. Like you can't be like that without being on steroids. But I do want to say I still like him. I like him for the entertainment factor.
Yeah.
I always knew he was on steroids, and I always kind of was like, I mean, it's a little bit of a kind of lame that he's selling these supplements, and some people aren't smart enough to catch on. Like, just because you take these supplements, you're not and work out, you're not going to look like him. It's unreal. It's impossible, But what he is doing is he's preaching like, working out, working hard, being a man, and that's what he did talk about in that video, which I think is great.
I feel like you have to be so extraordinary to get anybody's attention that's why he did that. He had to go the extra mile, so when you look at him, you truly go, I can't believe I'm seeing this with my eyes.
No.
When you look at what he did, do you have a problem with what he did?
My only problem with it is that, so he actually, he didn't admit to it. An email got leaked that basically exposed both things. Ironically, exposed both things in one email. This is before he was Liver King, but he had an email called liverking@ancestralsupplements.com. And he's emailing, I'm assuming the supplier of who makes his products now, maybe still makes them, but he was saying that he was taking, that he wanted to be an influencer. Here's my plan. He had it all planned out, right? But he told them how much steroids he was taking, and it is, from another bodybuilder YouTuber who was talking about this, was an insane amount.
Really?
An insane amount of steroids.
It was like $11,000 a month, wasn't it?
Yeah, he was spending $10,000 to $15,000 on steroids, and he's even saying like, yep. So he was taking 5 different steroids for like over the course of 3 years before that, and then a couple more that he just started adding on. And he's like, yep, I think I'm going to start doubling up on this. He's basically taking 3 times what a major bodybuilder would be taking in a week, from what the breakdown was. Anyway, my only problem with it is that he was taking so much to look like that. He's like, I'm 43. I gotta look like that. He's taking so much. Like, it wasn't even just a little bit. So not only is it unachievable to look like that, it really is almost
you have to have a lot of money.
Impossible.
Yeah.
I don't. Did he say anything about the implants?
Like,
no,
he did.
He addressed that.
He addressed the implants, and he said that he has not done any implants or ab cutting or anything like that.
Or no kind of like surgeries or
yeah. I don't know. I just think, and I think I might have actually said this on a previous podcast. I think it was an extremely calculated and well executed business model, business plan, and they did it perfectly. Besides for that little thing, which honestly was conning. I think it was conning, but I do still like that he talks about getting outside, working out, spending time with your family, and like pretty respectable things that I don't know, just is admirable in a man.
Man, I'll
Besides
tell you
for
what.
lying about the steroids.
Yeah. That aside, but the fact that he can eat, and I don't know if he's eaten all of it, but the fact that he can eat. If you've had liver, I had liver the other day. Shit was cooked and it had onions in it, and it was like something that you'd eat as a meal. It was terrible. It was awful. I got it from a restaurant and it was awful. So I can't imagine eating that raw. Granted, I don't know if he eats
quite a bit.
If he eats all of it. Just like the little amounts he does eat on camera, pretty impressive. Cow tongues, pretty impressive. The testicles, dude.
How do you just bite into a testicle like that, bro?
Dude, it's insane. All right, so
He would have been good on Fear
steroids is
Factor.
one thing.
Yeah.
Steroids is one thing, and lying about it, but the fact that he can eat the things that he is unbelievable.
Yeah, it's
and I
entertaining.
tip my hat to him.
Yeah, he's not a complete phony.
Try liver.
No,
If you've never had liver, try it.
Like,
and
order
then
it at a
You'll
restaurant.
have a new respect for the guy, because I had one piece and I was like, oh my god, this is bad. This is terrible.
At the end of the day, though, the cool thing about him and basically every other person that you watch on the internet is that you can take it in as little or as much as you want. Like, I probably see 1 to 5% of the content he puts out. It's because that's all I choose to watch. So, like, at the end of the day, he like did that, but he's still entertaining. So
How much you want to take it into your life and act that way.
Right,
you
that
know,
too.
right?
Yeah, it's all
like
up to
kind of
you.
the same thing as like Andrew Tate. Like, you can take every word he says,
or
like
yeah.
it's the most important thing, or you can take it with a grain of salt and just kind of laugh at it.
Or honestly, anyone. Like fricking the internet
us.
preachers.
Anyone.
Us,
Yep,
anyone.
anyone.
Pretty much anything that anyone ever says, take it with a grain of salt. You never know.